Welcome Flash Core, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. Here we go again, another headline, another round of economic brinkmanship making waves across the globe. Another day, another trade war. The world's markets barely have time to catch their breath before the next shock hits. This time, Donald Trump has announced a sweeping 50% tariff on all copper imports, set to take effect August 1st. The move is bold, sudden, and has sent ripples through every sector that relies on this essential metal. The stated goal? To protect American industry, revive domestic production, and bring back jobs that have been lost to overseas competition. It's a promise that echoes through campaign rallies and press conferences alike. The White House frames it as a negotiation tactic, a way to force other nations to the table. But to many it feels less like a calculated move and more like yelling, "I have a rock," during a chess match, reckless, unpredictable, and potentially destructive. This isn't a gentle nudge, it's a shove directed at everyone from the EU to Canada and Mexico. Allies and rivals alike are being told to play by new rules or face the consequences. The message is clear: play by our rules or face economic pain. It's a high-pressure tactic that risks alienating partners and igniting retaliation. But this isn't just Wall Street drama, this is copper, the backbone of our infrastructure. From the wires in our homes to the bridges we drive across, copper is everywhere, quietly powering modern life. By making half our supply 50% more expensive overnight, the administration is holding American manufacturers hostage. Small businesses and large corporations alike are scrambling to recalculate costs and rethink supply chains. Companies building everything from air conditioners to electric vehicles, solar panels to smartphones, now face massive cost increases. The ripple effect will be felt in every corner of the economy, and you can bet those costs will land on you, the consumer. Higher prices for electronics, cars, and even your monthly utility bill are just the beginning. As the August deadline approaches, the world holds its breath. Investors, business owners, and everyday families are all bracing for impact, uncertain of what comes next. Will this gamble pay off, forcing nations to the negotiating table? Or will they push back, sparking a new round of tariffs and countermeasures that could spiral out of control? The administration claims it's a master plan to revitalize the copper industry, but to critics it's more like trying to jumpstart a car by setting it on fire. Dramatic, risky, and likely to cause more harm than good. Dramatic, sure, but you're not driving anywhere soon. The economy, like that stalled car, may be left stranded while the smoke clears. This is less art of the deal and more art of the debacle. The risks are real and the rewards are far from guaranteed. The tariff is a high-stakes move with real consequences for American businesses and families. For many, it's not just a political game, it's their livelihoods on the line. Instead of stability, we get chaos and uncertainty. Markets hate surprises, and this is one shock that could echo for months, if not years. The world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Every move is scrutinized, every word analyzed as nations weigh their next steps. Is this protectionism or self-sabotage? Only time will tell if this gamble brings prosperity, or leaves America paying the price. You'd expect Canada to respond with a polite letter, maybe a sternly worded statement, or at most a diplomatic phone call. After all, Canada is famous for its courtesy and calm approach to international disputes. Not this time. Canada's had enough of being America's doormat. The mood on the streets and in Parliament is different. There's a sense of resolve, even defiance, as Canadians rally together. Instead of steel or aluminum, they hit back where it hurts. Kentucky bourbon, Florida oranges, Wisconsin cheese, and Hershey's chocolate. These aren't just products, they're symbols of American pride and local economies. It's a masterclass in strategic pettiness. Every move is calculated, every product chosen for maximum political impact, sending a message that Canada knows exactly where to apply pressure. Canada's message is clear: mess with our copper, and your key senators will hear from their own industries. The retaliation is personal, targeting the heart of American jobs and livelihoods. This is no longer just a trade dispute, it's economic warfare, fought with cheese curds and chocolate bars. The impact is felt in every grocery store and factory as both sides brace for the fallout. The Canadian Prime Minister called Trump's tariff unprovoked and ridiculous, laying out a response with cold fury. The government's tone is sharper than ever, signaling a new era in cross-border relations. Canada is a crucial trading partner and a major copper supplier. The stakes are high and both economies are deeply intertwined, making every decision ripple across the border. By targeting politically sensitive products, they've turned Trump's broad tariff into a series of local headaches for his allies. Suddenly the pressure isn't just international, it's coming from home. It's a judo flip, using American politics against itself. Canada is leveraging the very system that imposed the tariffs, turning allies into adversaries within the US. For years, Canada was the loyal ally. Now they're demanding respect. The relationship is being redefined, with Canada standing up for its own interests more forcefully than ever before. Their retaliation is clever, effective, and impossible to ignore. The world is watching as Canada proves it can play hardball when pushed. American bourbon distillers, dairy farmers, and candy makers are now lobbying Washington, asking, was this really worth it? The backlash is growing and the pressure on lawmakers is mounting. The answer increasingly is no. The cost of this trade war is becoming clear, and it's ordinary Americans who are paying the price. Canada's not backing down, and neither are their new American allies. Across the border, people are finding common cause, united by frustration and a desire for change. The trade war just got personal. What started as a policy dispute is now a battle for respect, identity, and the future of North American trade. It's not just Canada. Everyone's gearing up for a fight. The EU is preparing a 30% tariff on $100 billion of American goods, targeting cars and agriculture. Trump says the odds of a deal are 50-50. Translation: don't count on it. Negotiations with Japan are deadlocked, and Asian economies like India and South Korea are bracing for impact. Global supply chains are in turmoil. Companies are scrambling to adapt. The uncertainty is poison for investment and jobs. Instead of building alliances, we're picking fights with friends. The world is on edge, and we're the ones shaking the tightrope. While politicians posture and debate in Washington, it's American businesses on Main Street and across the country that are taking the real hit. Every day, business owners wake up to new uncertainties, wondering how they'll keep their doors open in the face of mounting challenges. The new 50% copper tariff isn't just a number on a spreadsheet, it's a direct tax on manufacturing, raising the cost of a critical material that so many industries rely on. Automakers, electronics manufacturers, construction companies, and green energy firms, all of them now face skyrocketing costs for the copper they need. These industries are the backbone of American innovation and infrastructure, and now they're being squeezed from every direction. Those higher costs don't just stay in the boardroom, they get passed on to you, the consumer, meaning higher prices for cars, phones, appliances, and even the homes we live in. One analyst estimates the average American family could end up paying $2,400 more each year just to keep up with the rising prices caused by these tariffs. That's money out of your pocket every single month. Small businesses, which don't have the deep pockets of big corporations, are especially vulnerable. For many, these added costs could be the difference between surviving and shutting down for good. For them, this isn't just an inconvenience, it's an existential threat that could wipe out years of hard work and dreams. The uncertainty is paralyzing. How do you plan for the future when you don't even know what your costs will be next month? Many business owners are left in limbo, unable to make decisions or invest in growth. Companies are delaying investments, putting off hiring, and bracing for the worst. Projects are paused and opportunities are lost as everyone waits to see what happens next. The tariff, which was supposed to protect American industry, is instead smashing the very foundations of our own economy, leaving factories idle and communities struggling. The people these policies claim to help, American workers and business owners, are the ones being hurt the most, facing layoffs and closures. This isn't pro-business policy, it's creating a climate of fear and uncertainty that stifles growth and innovation. The price of this brand of patriotism is proving far too high for American families, workers, and businesses alike. The administration's favorite excuse? National security? They claim we can't depend on foreign copper for defense and tech, but our main suppliers, Canada, Mexico, Chile, are allies, not threats. The idea that Canada would cut off copper to cripple our military is pure fantasy. The real threat is alienating allies and destabilizing global trade. Boosting domestic production isn't as simple as making imports expensive. New U.S. mines face environmental and community opposition. Tariffs don't solve these problems. They just create new ones. The national security argument is a flimsy excuse for economic nationalism. Instead of solving real challenges, this policy is creating a national headache. It's hurting industries, straining alliances, and doing little for domestic copper. A solution in search of a problem, causing plenty of new ones. This tariff comes as the world faces a looming copper shortage. Green energy is driving demand through the roof. Solar, wind, EVs all need copper. By 2035, demand could outstrip supply. Starting a trade war now is like a food fight during a famine. While we build tariff walls, China is buying up mines and forging partnerships worldwide. They're playing chess, we're eating the checkers. US policy is self-contradictory, investing in global supply chains, then slapping allies with tariffs. We're undermining our own strategy. The copper rush is on, and we risk being left behind. Securing minerals needs diplomacy and investment, not isolation. This tariff alienates friends and cedes ground to competitors. In the global scramble for copper, we're choosing to scramble alone. As the August deadline nears, the administration dangles hope. Maybe some countries get extensions. But good faith negotiations means caving to US demands. The tariff isn't a bargaining chip, it's a threat. Major powers like the EU and Canada won't be bullied. The administration's record is chaos, threats, reversals, and no clear strategy. Businesses can't plan when the rules change with every tweet. Is this a bluff for last-minute concessions, or are we really driving off a cliff? The ambiguity itself is damaging, breeding uncertainty and stalling growth. The art of the deal needs willing partners. After months of threats, don't be surprised if no one wants to deal. The long-term consequences are frightening. This isn't just about copper, it's about the stability of global trade. The tariff takes a sledgehammer to decades of rules-based prosperity. Economists warn of escalating trade wars, fractured supply chains, and recession. Retaliatory tariffs target key US industries, turning economic disputes into political crises. Global supply chains are intricate. This disruption is expensive and slow to fix. Companies are rethinking everything, injecting risk and uncertainty. The future depends on whether deals can be struck to pull us back from the brink. If not, we face a new era of protectionism and conflict. The first domino has fallen. Can we stop the rest? Here we are, on the edge of a trade war nobody needs. The copper tariff saga exposes the flaw in aggressive protectionism. It imagines America can dictate terms, but our partners have power too. Canada's retaliation proves this isn't a one-sided game. The policy's goals, security, and industry are being undermined by the policy itself. We're hurting allies and making our own industries less competitive. It's economic malpractice wrapped in patriotism. Best case, it's a bluff and we return to normalcy, but the damage is done. Trust is eroded, alliances strained. Worst case, tariffs become reality and the world plunges into a trade war. This isn't just about copper, it's about the world we want to live in. As our allies prepare for battle, we must ask, is any of this really worth the cost?